Do you sometimes feel like your body just isn't cooperating like it used to? Especially when it comes to intimacy? It's a conversation many of us avoid, isn't it? That feeling of frustration, of things not working the way you remember, can be really isolating. It makes you wonder, what changed? And is there anything I can do? For so many men over 60, this becomes a quiet struggle, something that chips away at confidence and can even affect relationships. We often look for complex answers, for medications or supplements. But what if I told you that some of the very foods you're putting into your body first thing in the morning could be making things much harder? We're talking about something as simple as your breakfast, and how it might be secretly undermining your vitality and confidence. It's a surprising truth that many of us overlook, thinking we're making healthy choices, when in fact, we might be inadvertently creating obstacles for our own well-being. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 seemingly innocent fruits that, when eaten for breakfast, might be doing more harm than good for your erectile health, especially if you're over 60. You see, the first meal of the day set the stage for your blood sugar, your energy, and even your circulatory system, all of which play a crucial role in maintaining healthy erectile function. And trust me, what we share will surprise you, so stick around, because by the end, you'll have a whole new perspective on your morning meal and some powerful knowledge to help you reclaim your natural vitality. Watch to the end for something that will truly open your eyes. Let's dive right in with the first fruit on our list that might be causing more trouble than it's worth when it comes to your morning routine, especially if you're looking to support healthy erectile function: bananas. Now, before you gasp, let me explain. Bananas are often touted as a healthy, convenient breakfast option, packed with potassium and easy to grab on the go. And yes, in moderation. As part of a balanced diet, they can be fine. But for men over 60, particularly when eaten alone or as the primary component of your breakfast, bananas can present a subtle challenge. The key here lies in their sugar content and glycemic index, especially as they ripen. A very ripe banana can have a surprisingly high sugar load, leading to a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Why is this important? Well, consistent, rapid blood sugar spikes, particularly first thing in the morning, can contribute to insulin resistance over time. When your body struggles to manage insulin effectively, it can lead to inflammation and damage to your blood vessels. And when it comes to erectile function, healthy blood flow is absolutely paramount. Damaged or stiff blood vessels make it much harder for blood to flow freely to where it needs to go, impacting your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. If the hose becomes narrowed or stiff, the water pressure just isn't the same. So, while a banana might seem like a quick energy boost, that initial surge of sugar can set off a chain reaction that, for men over 60, might be subtly undermining your vascular health and, by extension, your erectile vitality. Instead of a standalone banana for breakfast, consider pairing it with something that slows down sugar absorption, like a handful of nuts, a spoonful of almond butter, or some Greek yogurt. This combination helps to buffer the sugar impact, providing sustained energy without the dramatic blood sugar roller coaster. Now, let's move on to another seemingly innocent breakfast staple that could be impacting your mornings in a way you hadn't considered: grapes. Oh, how delightful a bunch of fresh grapes can be, especially on a warm morning. They're juicy, sweet, and often seen as a refreshing addition to breakfast. However, much like bananas, grapes, particularly the seedless varieties that are so popular, come with a significant sugar load. When you eat a bowl of grapes for breakfast, you're essentially consuming a concentrated dose of fructose and glucose without a substantial amount of fiber to slow down its absorption. This leads to a quick and pronounced rise in your blood sugar levels. Again, for men over 60 who may already be dealing with prediabetes, insulin resistance, or simply a less efficient metabolism, these morning sugar spikes are particularly problematic. Every time your blood sugar shoots up, your body releases a surge of insulin to bring it back down. Over years, this constant demand on your pancreas can lead to wear and tear, contributing to chronic inflammation and further damage to the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Remember, robust blood flow is the bedrock of healthy erectile function. If your vessels are constantly under stress from high sugar and inflammation, they lose their elasticity and ability to dilate properly. So, while grapes offer some antioxidants, the sheer volume of sugar, especially when consumed on an empty stomach at breakfast, can be counterproductive to your goals of maintaining strong vascular health and, consequently, healthy erections. If you love grapes, perhaps enjoy a smaller portion later in the day, paired with a protein or healthy fat source, rather than as a solo breakfast star. Or better yet, choose berries like blueberries or raspberries for breakfast, which offer a similar sweetness, but with much less sugar and more fiber. Continuing our discussion of morning fruit choices, let's talk about the vibrant and tropical mango. Mangoes are delicious. There's no denying that. Their sweet, juicy flesh makes them a favorite for many, and they often find their way into breakfast smoothies or fruit salads. However, much like bananas and grapes, mangoes pack a considerable sugary punch, especially when fully ripe. A single medium-sized mango can contain upwards of 45 grams of sugar, which is significantly more than what many men over 60 need in one go, particularly at the start of the day. When you consume such a large amount of sugar from fruit, even natural fruit sugar, on an empty stomach, your body experiences a rapid surge in blood glucose. This immediate rush of sugar requires your pancreas to work overtime to release enough insulin to process it. As we've discussed, this repeated cycle of high sugar intake and insulin spikes can lead to or exacerbate insulin resistance. Over time, insulin resistance is a major contributor to systemic inflammation and the stiffening and narrowing of arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This hardening of the arteries directly impairs blood flow throughout your body, including to the penis, making it increasingly difficult to achieve and maintain an erection. It's a silent process that builds up over years, and those seemingly harmless breakfast choices can play a role in accelerating it. So, while mangoes are undeniably tasty, eating them frequently and in large quantities for breakfast might be inadvertently setting your body up for circulatory challenges that impact your erectile health. If you crave that tropical sweetness, consider having a much smaller portion of mango mixed into a protein-rich Greek yogurt or a low-sugar smoothie that includes plenty of leafy greens and a source of healthy fat, like avocado or chia seeds. This helps to balance the sugar load and reduce its impact on your blood sugar levels. Now that we've discussed bananas, grapes, and mangoes, let's continue our journey through the remaining fruits that might be holding you back from your best vitality. Moving on to another popular fruit that often makes its way onto breakfast plates, especially in tropical climates or during summer, let's consider pineapple. Pineapple is known for its refreshing tartness and sweetness, and it's often praised for its vitamin C content and bromelain, an enzyme thought to aid digestion. However, when it comes to your morning meal, particularly for men over 60, pineapple can also contribute to the very issue we're trying to avoid: significant blood sugar spikes. Like the fruits we've already discussed, pineapple has a relatively high glycemic index and a good amount of natural sugars. Eating a large serving of pineapple on an empty stomach can send your blood sugar soaring quickly. This rapid influx of sugar, without enough fiber or protein to slow its absorption, can trigger that familiar insulin response we've been talking about. And, as we now understand, repeated insulin surges contribute to inflammation and can progressively damage the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. Healthy, flexible blood vessels are essential for good circulation throughout your body, including the blood flow required for firm erections. When these vessels become compromised, the plumbing just doesn't work as efficiently. It's not about demonizing pineapple entirely. It's about understanding its impact when consumed at a particular time of day and in certain quantities. If you enjoy pineapple, try to have it sparingly at breakfast, or better yet, save it for a post-lunch snack where your metabolism might be a bit more primed to handle the sugar. And always pair it with something like a handful of nuts or seeds to help temper the sugar absorption. Next on our list are dates. These sweet, chewy fruits are a staple in many cultures, and sometimes they're added to breakfast cereals, oatmeal, or smoothies for natural sweetness. While dates are undeniably nutritious, packed with fiber and minerals, their sugar content is incredibly concentrated, Just a few dates can deliver a significant amount of sugar in one go, especially the commonly available dried varieties. When you consume dates for breakfast, on an empty stomach, that concentrated sugar hits your bloodstream very quickly. This creates a sharp and immediate demand for insulin, pushing your blood sugar levels up rapidly. For men over 60 who might already be grappling with age-related metabolic slowdown or pre-existing conditions like prediabetes, this can be particularly detrimental. Chronic exposure to high blood sugar levels can lead to oxidative stress and inflammation, which are major culprits in the development of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. When the arteries that supply blood to the penis become stiff and less pliable, it dramatically hinders blood flow, directly impacting erectile function. So, while dates are a fantastic energy source, their intense sugar load makes them a less than ideal choice for a morning meal if your goal is to support sustained energy and optimal vascular health for erections. If you're looking for natural sweetness in your morning meal, consider a small amount of berries or even a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup paired with a high-protein breakfast, rather than a handful of dates. Then there's the broad category of dried fruits. This includes common breakfast additions like raisins, dried cranberries, dried apricots, and prunes. While the fresh versions of these fruits might offer some benefits, their dried counterparts are a different story, especially for breakfast. The drying process removes the water, concentrating all the natural sugars into a much smaller, denser package. This means that a small handful of raisins contains far more sugar than a similar volume of fresh grapes. Many commercially available dried fruits also have added sugars, sulfites, or vegetable oils, further exacerbating the problem. When you pour a handful of dried cranberries into your oatmeal or sprinkle raisins over your yogurt for breakfast, you're essentially adding a potent dose of concentrated sugar directly into your system. This leads to a rapid and pronounced spike in blood sugar, even more so than fresh fruit. As we've consistently discussed, these morning sugar surges are a direct pathway to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and ultimately, damage to your blood vessels. Healthy, flexible blood vessels are critical for robust blood flow, which is the foundation of strong erectile function. If your vessels are constantly battered by high sugar and inflammation, they lose their ability to expand and contract effectively, making it harder for the necessary blood flow to reach the penis. So, while they might seem convenient and healthy, dried fruits at breakfast, particularly in larger quantities, can be a silent sabotager of your vascular health and intimate well-being. Opt for fresh fruit options with higher water content and fiber, or limit dried fruits to a very small sprinkle, always paired with plenty of protein and healthy fats. Next up is canned fruits in syrup. This one might seem obvious, but it's surprising how often these make their way onto breakfast tables, perhaps as a quick addition to cereal or toast. Whether it's canned peaches, pears, fruit cocktail, or mandarins, the issue here is twofold. Firstly, the fruit itself. While fruit often has a lower nutritional profile compared to its fresh counterpart due to processing, but more importantly, these canned varieties are almost universally packed in heavy syrup, which is essentially just sugar water. Consuming a serving of canned fruit in syrup for breakfast is akin to drinking a sugary soft drink. It delivers a massive and immediate sugar load to your system, with very little fiber to slow down absorption. This leads to an extremely rapid and significant blood sugar spike, far more pronounced than even fresh ripe fruit. This intense sugar rush triggers a strong insulin response, and as we've already outlined, repeated spikes and the resulting insulin resistance contribute to systemic inflammation and arterial damage. The health of your arteries is directly linked to your erectile function, as healthy blood flow is non-negotiable for erections. Introducing such a high amount of added sugar right at the start of your day can create a metabolic environment that is far from ideal for supporting vascular health and, by extension, your ability to achieve and maintain erections. The convenience of canned fruit in syrup simply isn't worth the metabolic toll it takes, especially for men over 60. Always opt for fresh, whole fruits whenever possible. Or, if canned is your only option, choose those packed in water or their own juice, and rinse them thoroughly to remove excess sugar. Now, let's talk about watermelon. Many people might be surprised to see watermelon on this list. as it's often associated with hydration and even contains L-citrulline, which some studies link to improved blood flow. However, the reason it appears here is specifically about its consumption at breakfast for men over 60, and it boils down to its very high glycemic index and significant sugar content. While watermelon is mostly water, the carbohydrates it contains are rapidly digested sugars. When you eat a large slice of watermelon for breakfast on an empty stomach, that rush of sugar quickly enters your bloodstream. This sudden influx causes a rapid rise in blood glucose levels, prompting your body to release a large amount of insulin. As we've consistently discussed, these repeated dramatic blood sugar spikes, particularly in the morning, can contribute to insulin resistance over time. Insulin resistance and the resulting chronic inflammation are major factors in the damage to your blood vessels, which are crucial for maintaining healthy blood flow throughout your body, including to the penis. While L-citrulline has benefits, the sheer sugar load of a typical breakfast portion of watermelon can counteract those potential advantages by putting undue stress on your metabolic system and vascular health. So, while watermelon can be a refreshing treat later in the day, consuming it as a primary breakfast item might be setting your blood sugar on a roller coaster, subtly undermining your long-term vascular health and, consequently, your erectile function. If you enjoy watermelon, consider having it in moderation, perhaps as a small snack later in the day, or always pair it with some protein and healthy fats to buffer the sugar impact. Another common fruit that can be problematic when consumed for breakfast, especially in larger quantities, is the mighty apple. While apples are packed with fiber and various nutrients, and the saying, "an apple a day keeps the doctor away," holds some truth, their impact at breakfast for men over 60 deserves a closer look. A large apple, especially a sweet variety like a Gala or Fuji, contains a fair amount of natural sugar, while the fiber in an apple does help to slow down sugar absorption compared to fruit juice. Eating an apple alone on an empty stomach can still lead to a noticeable rise in blood sugar. For individuals with compromised insulin sensitivity or those prone to blood sugar fluctuations, this morning spike can still be enough to trigger an undesirable metabolic cascade, repeatedly starting your day with a significant sugar load, even from a whole fruit like an apple, can contribute to the ongoing challenge of managing insulin levels effectively. This constant metabolic stress, over time, fosters inflammation and can contribute to the stiffening and narrowing of your arteries. Remember, every bit of inflammation and arterial damage makes it harder for your body to deliver the robust blood flow needed for strong erections. It's not about avoiding apples entirely. It's about being strategic with when and how you eat them for breakfast. Instead of a solo apple, consider slicing it and pairing it with a generous dollop of almond butter or a hard-boiled egg. The protein and healthy fats will significantly slow down the sugar release, providing a more stable energy curve and being much kinder to your vascular health first thing in the morning. Now, let's turn our attention to oranges, particularly when consumed as a breakfast staple. While fresh oranges are celebrated for their vitamin C content and pleasant citrusy taste, they too can present a subtle challenge when eaten for breakfast, especially if consumed in larger quantities or as pure juice. A single large orange contains a significant amount of natural sugars, primarily fructose and glucose, while the fiber in a whole orange helps to moderate its sugar absorption. Consuming multiple oranges, or even more critically, drinking a glass of orange juice for breakfast delivers a rapid and concentrated dose of sugar into your bloodstream. Orange juice, even 100% pure juice, is essentially a sugar bomb without the beneficial fiber that slows absorption. This rapid sugar influx triggers a strong insulin response, leading to that all-too-familiar blood sugar spike for men over 60 whose bodies may not be as efficient at managing these sugar surges. This can contribute to insulin resistance and chronic inflammation over time. Inflammation is a silent enemy of your vascular system, causing damage to the delicate lining of your arteries and making them less pliable. When your blood vessels lose their elasticity and ability to dilate effectively, the critical blood flow needed for strong erections is compromised. So, while an orange might seem like a healthy start to your day, opting for a whole orange occasionally is one thing, but making orange juice a daily breakfast habit can be detrimental to your long-term vascular health and erectile function. If you love citrus, Consider a small amount of whole orange paired with a protein-rich breakfast, or perhaps a lower sugar-berry smoothie, to get your vitamin C without the overwhelming sugar hit. Finally, we come to the category of sweetened cranberry products. This is a crucial one because cranberries are often marketed as incredibly healthy, especially for urinary tract health. And indeed, pure, unsweetened cranberries are fantastic. However, when it comes to breakfast, many cranberry products, like sweetened dried cranberries added to oatmeal or granola, or especially cranberry juice cocktails, are loaded with added sugars. If you're pouring a glass of cranberry juice cocktail or sprinkling a generous handful of sweetened dried cranberries onto your breakfast cereal, you are effectively starting your day with a massive dose of processed sugar. This is perhaps one of the most potent sugar bombs on our list for breakfast. The impact on your blood sugar is immediate and dramatic, triggering a significant insulin release. As we've learned, repeated high sugar spikes, particularly from added sugars, are a direct pathway to systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and the accelerated hardening of your arteries. These processes are absolutely detrimental to healthy blood flow, which is the cornerstone of robust erectile function. Every time your arteries become stiffer or narrower, the challenge of achieving and maintaining an erection increases. So, while the idea of cranberries might be appealing, it's vital to read labels and understand that most commercial cranberry products for breakfast are disguised sugar delivery systems. If you want the benefits of cranberries, opt for pure, unsweetened cranberry juice in very small quantities, diluted with water, or incorporate a few fresh or unsweetened frozen cranberries into a protein-rich smoothie. Avoid any product with sweetened or cocktail in its name as a breakfast choice if you're serious about supporting your vascular health and erectile function. So, we've walked through 10 fruits that, while often perceived as healthy, can subtly undermine your vitality and erectile health when consumed for breakfast. Especially as you navigate life over 60, the common thread here isn't that these fruits are inherently bad, but rather how their sugar content and glycemic impact affect your body, particularly when eaten on an empty stomach and in larger quantities, especially for men whose metabolic systems might be a little less forgiving with your age. The core message is this: consistently spiking your blood sugar first thing in the morning contributes to insulin resistance, inflammation, and damage to your blood vessels. And because strong, healthy blood flow is the absolute foundation for achieving and maintaining firm erections, anything that compromises your vascular system will inevitably affect your intimate health. It's about being mindful of the silent impact of these seemingly innocent choices. Remember, making small, informed changes to your breakfast routine can yield significant benefits for your overall health, including your erectile function. It's not about deprivation, but about intelligent substitution. Instead of these higher sugar fruits, consider opting for lower glycemic alternatives like berries. Think blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries, which are packed with antioxidants and fiber, or even a small portion of a less sweet fruit like a Granny Smith apple, always paired with a source of protein and healthy fats. Think about starting your day with eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein-rich smoothie that includes nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. These choices provide sustained energy, stabilize your blood sugar, and support healthy blood flow, setting you up for a day of vitality. Your body is incredibly resilient, and it responds beautifully to the right nourishment. By making conscious decisions about what you put into your body, especially at the start of your day, you empower yourself to reclaim your energy, your confidence, and your intimate health. You deserve to feel your best at every age, and these simple dietary shifts can make a profound difference. Don't let the frustration of past experiences define your future. This isn't about blaming, but about empowering you with knowledge. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any changes in your energy or health based on your breakfast choices? What are your favorite go-to breakfast meals that make you feel great? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else on their journey. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're here to provide you with practical, actionable advice to help you live your best life at every age. Join our community and let's continue to explore ways to enhance your well-being together. Remember, Small changes truly can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Stay well and live your best life, vibrant and full of confidence. At every age,